feverish efforts to convert big buildings into field hospitals. One of them is the Craneway Pavilion in Richmond, a building with its own rich history from the past, being turned into a 250-bed medical station should it be needed for COVID-19 patients. For more on that process, we're joined live on the KCbs Ring Central Newsline by Contra Costa County Supervisor John Joya. Supervisor, good morning. Thanks for the time. How do things look?
Good morning, Stan.
How do things look at Craneway right now?
Well, the good news is all of the hospital beds and supplies and equipment have pretty much been set up courtesy of the National Guard. The California Air Force National Guard came in last week. These are all federal supplies. They were in the Division of Strategic National Stockpile, and they're called federal medical stations. And they were set up. The county is now coordinating developing the plan to staff that facility, and this is one of those great federal, state, and county partnerships. Federal government supplying the equipment, the state helping arrange for the delivery of it, and the county essentially obtaining this historic space and staffing it. And by the way, listening to your traffic report, sounds like Bay Area residents are doing a really good job of staying home and following the health orders, because the more they do that, the greater the possibility that we may not need to use a facility like the Craneway. Because remember, what the Craneway is about is developing, in this case, 250 beds of additional capacity to handle an overflow if the hospitals lack capacity to handle a surge. So the more we follow the stay home, the new term is stay in place, maintain your space, cover your face. If you do those things, we can be successful in lowering the surge.
Let's talk a little about that building itself. I mean, because we are in such a remarkable historic moment right now, but that building served proudly in a different historic moment.
It did. It opened in 1928 as a Ford auto plant. The building is an historic building. For those that follow this, Alfred Kahn is a sort of industrial architect of that period. So it was designed by him. And it was a Ford auto plant until 1956, except during World War II, when it assembled jeeps, tanks, and other military vehicles, and was the largest location where materials and vehicles like that flowed to the Pacific theater of World War II. So it helped win the war, and it's going to help us really successfully fight this pandemic.
Supervisor, in talking with your colleagues in county and local government up and down the state, there are a number of other big buildings, from sports arenas to, I think I saw a shopping mall somewhere.
Yeah.
How are these being selected? Who decided?
Yeah, in fact, the governor was held his briefing the other day at the old Sacramento Kings basketball stadium there. Well, essentially, it's a cooperative effort with federal, state, and county officials. Since these federal stockpiles included all of these beds, they were looking for locations that were large areas, a lot of square footage. This is over 45,000 square feet. And so a place where you can efficiently lay out a large number of beds, as opposed to a building with individual rooms and offices, and a building that had, good power infrastructure, good access for the vehicles that would come, good internet access. So, and in this case, also access to a full commissary-type kitchen to prepare meals, which is because there's a restaurant in that building, and we'll be using that particular kitchen. So large area with good infrastructure.
Okay, well, thanks for the update. We appreciate that. That's John Joya, Contra Costa County Supervisor, an update on the progress of converting the Craneway Pavilion, the old Ford assembly plant in Richmond, into what could be a 250-bed medical field hospital, should it be necessary to treat COVID-19 patients. Right now, Jason Brooks, 8:25.